Have you ever lost a friend and wondered why it happened? You tried your best, you were loyal, you stood by them, but suddenly they pulled away. The calls stopped, the energy changed, and without warning, the bond was gone. It hurts, doesn't it? But what if that wasn't a loss at all? What if it was Allah, the most merciful, separating you from a friendship that was damaging your soul? Because not every friend is good for your journey. Some are tests, and when Allah sees that someone is hurting you more than helping you, He removes them, gently, beautifully, for a reason. So stay with me till the end, and if you've ever questioned why someone walked away, today you'll get your answer. 1. You start feeling spiritually drained around them. There's a kind of pain that doesn't come from wounds or scars. It's the pain your heart feels when your soul is tired. Tired from being around someone who drains the light inside you. You may not notice it in the beginning. They seem friendly, they laugh with you, and you enjoy spending time with them. But slowly, something begins to shift. You find yourself skipping your prayers, becoming lazy in your remembrance of Allah, and feeling heavy when it's time to do something good. The fire that once burned inside you for the love of your Creator starts fading, and you don't even realize why. That's when you need to look around and ask yourself, who am I spending time with? Who am I allowing into my space? Because not every friend you walk with is helping you get closer to Allah. Some friends smile in your face but carry darkness in their hearts. Some people are not sent to help you grow, but to pull you away from your purpose. There are friendships that lift your soul, and then there are friendships that quietly break it. When you're around someone who constantly talks about worldly things, money, gossip, other people's faults, but never encourages you to pray, never reminds you of Jannah, never speaks about Allah, your heart starts drying up. You may still laugh with them, but deep inside, your soul feels thirsty, empty, restless. This is not something to take lightly. Your soul was made to remember Allah. And when someone constantly distracts you from that, you begin to suffer without even knowing the reason. The worst part? Sometimes we stay in these friendships just because we don't want to be alone. But what if that loneliness is actually a gift? What if Allah is trying to clear the space around you so He can fill it with better people? Allah, in His love and mercy, does not let you stay in places where your faith is slowly dying. He gives you signs. He makes the conversations feel boring. He makes the hangouts feel heavy. He makes your chest tighten when you hear them speak against things that matter to you. And when you finally start pulling back, you'll notice something incredible. Peace starts returning to your life. You feel more focused in prayer. You remember your goals. You start feeling alive again. That's when you realize it wasn't you who changed for the worse. It was the company that clouded your heart. Sometimes Allah removes people, not because they're evil, but because they are not good for your journey. They may be kind, funny, and even supportive in worldly matters, but if they keep pulling you away from your spiritual growth, then that friendship becomes a silent trap. And Allah, the most merciful, does not leave His servant trapped for long. He guides, He warns, and when the time is right, He separates. The beauty of this separation is that it often feels painful at first. You may feel confused, you may wonder what went wrong, but with time the truth becomes clear. You were not losing a friend, you were gaining your peace. You were getting back your focus, you were reconnecting with your purpose, and most of all, you were returning to Allah. This kind of pain is actually a sign of divine care, because your soul is worth more than a friendship that weakens your faith. Your time is too precious to waste with someone who keeps you stuck in distraction, and your heart is too valuable to be filled with conversations that don't bring you closer to your Creator. It's okay to feel sad when someone you loved becomes distant, but always remember, the one who removes people from your life is the same one who knows what your heart truly needs. And what your heart needs more than anyone is Allah. Stay close to those who remind you of your purpose. And if you ever feel spiritually empty around someone, ask Allah for clarity. Ask Him to guide you to those who will help you grow in love, in faith, and in goodness. Because when you protect your soul, you protect your future. And when you choose what pleases Allah, He always sends better people, better peace, and better light for your path. 2. Constant conflict and hidden jealousy begin to appear. There comes a time in life when something changes in a friendship that once felt warm and safe. You don't know why, but the peace is no longer there. Simple conversations start turning into arguments. Every word you say is misunderstood. Every opinion feels like an invitation to a fight. You try to joke and they take it seriously. You try to stay serious and they accuse you of being cold. It's like walking on broken glass. No matter how gentle you are, something still goes wrong. At first, you blame yourself. You wonder if you said something wrong. You try to fix things, apologize, and hold the friendship together. But with time, you realize this conflict isn't about you anymore. It's coming from somewhere else, a place you can't see, but you can feel. And when you look deeper, you start noticing something darker behind the conflict: jealousy. Quiet, hidden jealousy that doesn't show itself openly, but you feel it in the way they respond to your happiness. You share good news, they stay silent. You speak about a blessing, they change the subject. You start improving your life, and suddenly they start making you feel guilty, like you've done something wrong just by growing. This is not friendship, this is emotional poison. Real friends don't compete with you, they celebrate you. Real friends don't make your victories feel like crimes. Real friends never feel threatened when Allah blesses you, but toxic friends do. And when they do, conflict becomes a regular visitor in your life. Every step forward you take starts bothering them. They may smile at you, but inside there's a war going on. And that war spills out in strange ways. Rude jokes, passive comments, sarcastic remarks, or fake compliments. You feel it even if they deny it. Now here's the truth. Allah, in His deep wisdom, allows this to happen, not to break you, but to wake you up. He lets the conflict grow, not because He wants to hurt you, but because He wants to show you something you didn't want to admit. This friendship is no longer healthy for your soul. Jealousy is a dangerous emotion. It doesn't always come with loud anger. Sometimes it comes with fake support. A toxic friend might pretend to be happy for you, but their heart burns when you succeed, and that fire leads to behavior that keeps hurting you over and over. You don't deserve that. You deserve a friend who smiles with their heart when you rise, who prays for your success even in your absence, who feels safe with your strength, not shaken by it. But to receive that, you need to let go of those who carry jealousy instead of joy. And when you hesitate, when your heart still wants to hold on, Allah helps you. He makes the distance grow. He makes the tension rise. He shows you the cracks you kept ignoring. It hurts, yes, but behind that hurt is protection. Sometimes a friend turns into a test, and that test is meant to lead you back to Allah, to remind you that peace doesn't come from people who secretly compete with you. It comes from those who walk beside you through every chapter of your life with honesty and love. So if you're in a friendship full of constant conflict, where your spirit keeps getting wounded, where love is replaced with bitterness, pause. Ask yourself, would Allah want me to stay in this? Because when Allah wants better for you, He will remove people who can't handle your light. And sometimes that removal feels like war, but it's really a mercy in disguise. 3. You start growing, they stay the same. There's a powerful moment in life when you begin to feel different inside. It doesn't happen overnight, but slowly you notice it. You start thinking deeper. You start questioning your habits. You begin feeling guilty when you miss a prayer. You crave silence instead of noise. You feel drawn toward the Quran, towards reflection, towards Allah. You're not the same person you were yesterday, and that's a beautiful thing. That's growth. That's the mercy of Allah touching your heart and waking you up. You're climbing higher. Your soul is stretching. Your mind is opening. And your heart is searching for more than just fun or comfort. It's searching for meaning. But then something happens. You look around, and your friends? They're still standing in the same place. They're still chasing the same distractions, still wasting time in gossip, still laughing at things that no longer make you smile, still living in the same circle of carelessness. And now, what once felt like home begins to feel unfamiliar. You try to connect, but the conversations feel empty. You try to share your growth, but they don't understand. You speak about your goals, your faith, your vision, and they change the subject, or worse, make you feel like you're trying to be too perfect. But you're not trying to be perfect. You're just trying to be better, closer to Allah, closer to your purpose. And that shift makes some people uncomfortable. Here's something important to understand. Not everyone around you is meant to grow with you. Some people are only meant to be part of your story for a short time. They enter your life to teach you something, to walk with you for a chapter, but when the season changes, they stay behind. And if you try to keep them with you, they'll start holding you back. Your growth becomes a mirror. It reflects what they don't want to face in themselves. It reminds them of what they're ignoring, and instead of feeling inspired, they feel attacked. Instead of celebrating your new path, they question it. They start pulling you back into your old self, the one that didn't pray, didn't care, didn't seek the truth. This is when Allah, in His kindness, begins to put space between you and them, not out of punishment, but because He wants you to continue climbing. He doesn't want your light to be dimmed by people who are still sitting in darkness. So He removes the bond gently, sometimes painfully, but always for a reason. Growth is a journey that requires courage, because to rise, you must leave some things behind. And sometimes that thing is a person, someone you laughed with, cried with, maybe even trusted deeply. But if that person is no longer moving with you, no longer supporting your path, no longer celebrating your change, then holding on to them will only hold you down. Yes, it's hard. It hurts to walk alone. But walking with those who keep you stuck hurts even more. Trust in the process. Trust in the distance that Allah is creating. Every time someone turns away as you grow, it's because Allah is preparing a space for someone better. Someone who will water your growth, not mock it. Someone who will walk with you, not pull you back. So don't apologize for growing. Don't hide your progress to make others feel comfortable. Don't slow down your steps just because someone else refuses to move. Keep going, keep rising, keep reaching for the light that Allah has placed ahead of you. Because the one who started this growth in your soul will never leave you alone in it. He sees your effort, He hears your tears, and He will reward your journey in ways that will make your heart fall in love with Him even more. Let go of those who no longer fit the direction you're going, and trust that the one who is guiding your steps is also guiding your circle. 4. Peace comes after they leave. There is a strange kind of relief that comes after a storm. A quiet feeling in your heart that tells you something heavy has been lifted. You may not notice it immediately. You may still be hurting. You may still be wiping tears from your eyes. But slowly, as the days pass, you begin to feel something you didn't feel before. Peace. You wake up lighter. You breathe deeper. Your thoughts become clearer. You have more time for yourself, more time for your family, more time for your connection with Allah. And then it hits you. The person who left your life, the one you thought you couldn't live without, was actually standing between you and your peace. Sometimes you don't realize how much someone was disturbing your soul until they're no longer around. While they were in your life, you were constantly anxious, confused, and unsure. Your heart felt tight. You doubted yourself. You couldn't hear your own voice anymore. You were too busy trying to keep them happy, trying to fix. But when Allah removes them, something shifts. The air becomes clearer. Your mind stops running in circles. Your heart begins to heal. And the chaos they brought into your world, the emotional ups and downs, the drama, the guilt, the hidden tension, it all fades away. This is not a coincidence. This is not luck. This is the mercy of Allah. He took them away, not to punish you, but to give you space to breathe, to think, to reconnect with Him, because peace is one of the greatest gifts that Allah can give you. And He doesn't allow your soul to stay tied to people who keep taking it away. When someone leaves and you feel peaceful afterward, that's a sign from Allah, a sign that you were being held in a place that didn't match your soul, a sign that you were carrying a weight you didn't even recognize. And the moment they're gone, you finally understand what true stillness feels like. No more pretending, no more walking on eggshells, no more trying to explain yourself again and again, no more begging to be heard, to be seen, to be valued. Just silence, calmness, and freedom. You now have room to grow, to explore yourself, to invest in your own heart. You have time for prayer without being rushed. You have space for self-reflection without being judged. You begin to focus on your goals. You start thinking clearly about your dreams. You even begin to smile more, not the fake smile you gave to hide your pain, but the real one that comes from feeling whole again. So if you've recently lost someone and peace has returned to your heart, thank Allah. Because not every goodbye is a punishment. Some goodbyes are actually answers to your deepest prayers. Maybe you were asking for strength and Allah gave it to you by removing someone who was weakening you. Maybe you were asking for clarity and He gave it to you by closing a door that was leading you away from Him. Peace is precious. Protect it. And never regret the departure of someone who couldn't protect your soul the way Allah does. You were never alone. Even in the silence, even in the sadness, Allah was working for you. He was preparing you, He was healing you. And now that peace has come, welcome it, embrace it, and walk forward with full trust in Him. Trust in Him, rely on Him, and know that your journey will always be lighter without the weight He lifted. May Allah guide us to pure friendships, protect us from toxic hearts, and surround us with those who remind us of Him.